The theme from getting here to there seems like a straightforward one. You try to go by train, plane, or automobile, you hop, skip, or jump. But what if point A, or actually point B, are in your psyche? What then? When I was very young, I had a series of very disturbing dreams. It was always the same thing. I would be lost in some strange town and wouldn't know how to get back home. So I'd go up to people in the dream and say, do you know where my town is? They'd say, no. So at any rate, I would always have this feeling in the next morning of, despite the dream being over, of feeling anxious and lost. I wanted to get home so very badly so. My family was a little strange, let us say. And I realized that home wasn't necessarily where they were. And around the same time, I used to go to the local theater in town, in a small town where I grew up. I saw all these science fiction movies. So after a while, I started thinking about my parents and said, you know, I think probably these are not my real parents. I think maybe I was adopted. And then I concocted this fantasy in which the people who adopted me, actually, my alleged parents, actually, my real parents were space aliens. And I also went to see Pinocchio by Walt Disney. And there was this great song by Jiminy Cricket. Do you remember it? When You Wish Upon a Star? So I conflated the space alien, the sci-fi, with Jiminy Cricket. And I would sit at my bedroom window late at night and look out up at the stars, and I'd wish so hard to find my way home. And then I wished that one day one of those stars would detach itself from its constellation and fly down to me. And of course, it wasn't really a star, it was a spaceship with my real parents in it. And so then what would happen, they would announce to the world that I was their son. And I would be raised up into the heavens, of course, to a film score like the Ten Commandments, and with pure celestial light surrounding me. Now, I think I had an early, Christ complex. So, and when I got to college, I began to realize that the solution wasn't geographic nor even extraterrestrial, that it was something inside me. And about the same time, there was another Walt Disney movie called Mary Poppins. Now, in the movie, Julie Andrews, as Mary Poppins, sang, "A spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down." Now, there's a rumor on the campus where I went that the sugar was LSD. And from then on, I wanted to find the sugar. So I emigrated to California. And one day in the Big Sur, with all my friends around me, in the parlance of the day, I dropped acid. And I went straight from point A to point B. No stops in between. And it was more wonderful and more spectacular than anything I or even Walt Disney had ever imagined. At the same time, I never saw any purple waterfalls, nor any orange marmalade skies. But I wasn't looking for that. I found something much more spectacular than those. I found home. Now, after it wore off, I realized that I had taken a shortcut. And if I wanted to get back to point B, I'd have to do it through years of hard work. So I availed myself of every New Age remedy possible, including yoga and yogurt and reading Alan Watts. I even got Rolfed, which boils down essentially to paying somebody a lot of money to torture you for 10 weeks. So none of these things seemed to work. And I fell into rather deep depression. I was stuck. Now, that's going to be an upcoming subject, I believe. I was very, very stuck. So then finally, I found my way to some therapists. And I went and I worked. And I dropped my earlier belief that pharmaceuticals was kind of a counterfeit. So anyway, I finally found the help that I need. And I felt at least partway home. Now, I'm not always at point B, because then I'd be impossibly wonderful. So I find myself, though, close to point B much of the time, and sometimes even right on it. And more profound lesson I learned was the sugar's not out there somewhere. It's right in here, and all we have to do is reveal it. Thank you.